In this video, we're going to be learning how to make the double crochet stitch. I want to show you first, though, there's 3 different techniques when you make your first stitch in the row, and they yield very different results. So from here to here in the swatch, you can see the edges are a little bit wavy, more so than on the other sections. In this section here, you can see there's kind of holes in each row, one at each end. And then this section here is pretty straight and you don't get any holes. So that has to do with the 3 different ways of doing it. This way we do at the beginning a chain 2 and then a stitch in that same working space. It's basically what we've been doing so far for single and half double crochet, where we chain 1, turn our work, and put a stitch in the base of that. And then this one is a method where the chain 2 is counted as a stitch. So that first chain 2 counts as your double crochet, and you do not work another stitch into that base of that chain. So that chain 2 is a little bit thinner than a typical double crochet stitch. That's why you end up with this gap here. And chain 2 plus a double crochet stitch is a little bit wider than just a double crochet stitch, which is why we end up with a wave here. The third method, which in my opinion works best for items like this, like a scarf or poncho or anything where you're having a pretty thick item, it comes out much neater if you use this, it's called a foundation turning chain. So I'm going to show you how to do each one of those. I would say in my opinion, this is the easiest. I would say this is actually probably the second easiest. And this just because I don't like having to stitch into that chain. For me, that's kind of annoying. This is probably my least favorite also because it leaves these, very obvious gappy looking holes. But this method is important for some other applications. I'm going to grab real quick one of my snowflakes so I can show you. So in this, I'll bring it up close so you can see. These are double crochets worked in the round. And the very starting one, where is it? It's right here. That's actually a chain 2 right there. And if I were to do something else there, it would look out of place. If I did something thicker than a chain 2, it wouldn't work so well in a project like this. But for most things that you're going to be working on right now, I think this will look best. This is easiest. And this one I just don't really see much advantage to. So I'm going to show you all 3 and you can decide what works best for you. On my table here. Okay. Accidentally unraveled a bit of this, so I'm going to fix that real quick so we can get to the start of a row. I don't like working into those chains. I don't know, it always gives me trouble. Okay, now I am at the beginning of a row. In the first method with the, sorry, shaking my camera there. With the foundation turning chain, we're not going to chain 2. We did our last double crochet stitch, and now we're just going to turn our work. No chaining before we turn it. And we're going to start by inserting our hook into that very first space, yarning over, pulling up a loop, and then creating a single crochet. So we just pull our hook through both loops. Now this is a single crochet, and there are 2 loops to it. Okay, you see the first one and the second one. We're going to go through the first one only and create a second single crochet. So we yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through both of those loops. Now that has created something in very similar thickness to a double crochet, and it's created an edge that's straight with the stitch below it. That's why it gives us that nicer look. Now to create a double crochet, it's kind of similar to how we did the half double crochet. We yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, but now we're going to pull through just 2 loops. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops. That's a double crochet. I'll show you that again. We yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. When we look at the top of our stitches, remember they look at like V's. We're going under both halves of the V. When we turn it to the side like this, we can see there's a little hole there. That's what we're going into. Okay, so yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, I'm going to finish this row, and then when I get to the end, I will show you the next method.